So hyped about today's video. We're going to talk about the top 10 tips beginner guide for 2024. And this is going to be a special one because I've got Kat here with me. Say hi, Kat. Kat, which is Squid Princess, my wife, just started playing the game, and you've been playing Marvel Strike Force for a little over 3 weeks, right?
Just under 3 weeks. I think I'm at 19 days now.
19 days. And then also with us is K9 Kismet, who is a veteran player. You're a veteran player, right? You've been around for a while. And you started playing the game 3 weeks ago as well, right?
Yeah, started the new account.
All right. So before we get into the top 10 tips, what's your experience been like specifically at K9? I'm curious. You've been enjoying this so far?
So far, it's been nice to unlock new characters again, get that experience, and kind of, fix all the mistakes you made whenever you were new and didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah. Does it seem easier to get characters and things before? I mean, Kat unlocked Doc Ock on day 5, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm under 20 days played, and I've got 106 characters unlocked already, which is way more than I had the first time I played.
Okay. Tip number 1, and you both agree with me, this is a pretty big deal, is to link your account to the web store. Kat, what's the biggest thing about linking it to the web store, why that's a good thing?
In my experience, linking it to the web store, one, it allows you to redeem a few new player gifts, which I think you're going to talk about the codes for those. Mm-hmm. But you're also allowed to do the free claims, which are really good because you get character shards, some event materials, gold, and a lot of other resources that you need and tend to run out of. You don't run out of them very early on in the game, but once you start getting like a week or two in, then you start hitting a wall with lack of resources. So going into the web store and doing the daily claims there has been super helpful.
Okay, and then K9, you brought something up that I didn't pick up on right away, is that there was a 10 Ultra Core offer. Tell me a little bit about that.
I didn't even notice it for the first couple of days because I forgot to link my account to the web store. But once I did, I started scrolling through they give you 50 free Ultra Cores with one of the free gamer coupons things. And there was a 10 Ultra Core Silver Surfer offer, which offered like 2,000 power cores and a good amount of gold.
Right. Yeah. So the first thing that is worth noting is when you link your account to the web store, you get like this free Loki and some stuff with Loki. And I think one of the items in that is 50 Ultra Cores. Then you could take those 50 Ultra Cores and spend 10 of them on this offer right here, which is amazing, right? And then you get access to the web milestones and then the store milestones. And tell me, Kat, you were just collecting one of them every day. And tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I got confused when I saw the new player offers, or not even the new player offers, just the offers that are available in the store. And I saw on there one limit to one purchase. So I thought that I could only do one of those buttons. Like I had to pick one. I had to either do the gold or get the Mr. Negative shards. So everybody told me, they were like, oh, you need to get Mr. Negative shards. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll be fine on gold.
Yeah, so you were like in this screen here where you have 4 options and you thought it was one purchase and you could only collect one of them. No, you could
I had to pick one.
No, you could collect all 4. Okay, so that's the main thing, is that you're going to be able to get, and you can do this daily. So every day, come to the web store, you're going to get like these 4 free claims, and then you're also going to get access to the milestones. And then lastly, there's an area right here, and everybody has a different experience with this, but there is a redeem your new player gift. Now, K9, you were able to redeem 3 of them. What 3 worked for you?
I got the Venom free, the Gambit, or cards, whichever one. I think they're the same. And then the Welcome, which is for the new players as well. Yeah,
and so I'm typing them into the screen. Welcome. There's also, so those are the 3 that worked for you. Now, unfortunately for Kat, the only one that worked was Gambit. But there's also one that is identical to the Gambit one called Cards. And there's another one, but I don't think it works anymore. So let's just talk about those 4. You got 3 of them to work. Kat, you only got 1 of them to work. it's kind of a big deal because like the Gambit one specifically not only gives you Gambit, 500 power cores, and then you get some premium orbs. And then these are the total codes that work right there. Try all of them, right? I don't know. Does anybody know why you got 3 of them to work? I think Dorky started a new account too, and he got 2 of them to work. Does anybody know why some of them work for everybody and some you just got to try them all? What do you think, Kismet?
Some of them seem like they might be capitalizations of letters or something like that. I don't know. And I think the Venom one I had to try 3 times before it went through.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure what the issue is with that.
Okay, so tip number 1 is enable the web store. That'll give you access to the daily milestones and the free claims, the Loki, the Silver Surfer, and then also the ability to enter codes, which should get you Gambit and Venom. And let's go to tip number 2. And I'm gonna give it away. Do all of your daily activities. Kismet, why is that a big deal?
You get just so many rewards on your daily objectives. You get all of that. You get the free strike pass, all of those, and then any of the challenges that you have. You get all of the rewards from that. It's just so many materials early on that help you level up your account and characters.
Yeah, also, this is one of the main ways that you can get experience, which, tell me, Kat, what is the main bottleneck right now for you?
Usually when it comes to campaign or challenges or things like that, I get level blocked. So I can't go any further because I need to be at a certain level in order to do these things. So I just kind of cruise and sit there, or if it's challenges, it's just really quick, just auto win everything every day. But it does mean I'm limited on the resources that I can get. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in that I can't get any further, but I also can't level up my characters anymore to make them better.
Right. So I don't know if this still holds true, but back in the day, we used to say something that if you wanted to spend money on various offers to replace the amount of stuff that you get every day just by doing your daily activities, it would cost like $100. So like playing the game every day and doing all of your daily activities, and you can see right here, I just went up to level 51, is kind of a big deal, right? Either one of you, which one? Is it a big deal or not a big deal? Yeah.
Thank you for leveling up my account, babe.
Yeah, we're getting it going. Okay, so go ahead.
What I find it nice about the daily is like a lot like K9 said, there's a lot of resources that come with it too. You also get character shards that are useful, like the Wolverine. That's really good because getting Gambit early on, you kind of get an opportunity to build a couple small generic teams. So you can kind of start working your way towards looking at the way they all kind of interact together, the synergies that are among different characters. So it's pretty useful across the board, plus the experience.
And I know this is not a super big tip, but like, my goodness, click on all the red dots, right? What do you think, K9?
Yeah, I mean, just try and get everything that you can done. Blitz, even though it is what it is. You have the arena, your dailies, and the faster you can level up your account, the faster you can unlock War or Cosmic Crucible or whatever else, other events and stuff, and get into the actual milestone events too, which are huge.
Right. And so we're going to go to tip number 3, being that, the level cap is the primary bottleneck. I think there's 3 different ways of advancing that. One is finishing your daily activities. There's experience in that. 2, which is tip number 4, is what do I spend my power cores on? Spend your power cores on campaign energy. Now, Kismet, you do something a little differently. The 50s, most people just automatically do the 50s. Do you do more than the 50s?
I occasionally will do a couple of the 100s, especially if I'm close to a level up, just to try and get to that next level and rank up my characters, try and stay high up in arena.
Yeah, because that's going to be one of the main questions is like, what do I spend all this power cores on? Are you really spending your power cores on anything other than campaign energy right now? It's kind of a nuanced thing, though, but spending the 50s is a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get enough each day that spending the 50s, I still end up with a surplus typically. But yeah, I don't spend anything. I don't spend the power cores on anything else.
Right. Yeah, because campaign energy plus doing your daily activities is going to be the primary way of accelerating your level, right? What is the third way? Big surprise, it's Marvel Strike Force. It's spending money, right? And so we're going to talk about the arena and why some things you just need to ignore in the arena. You talked a lot about this, Kismet, when I was talking to you on the phone this morning. There's these time heist offers, and I'm not in this video going into whether it's worth it or not, but these time heists let you jump up levels. If you purchase all of them, I believe it's over $330. Right now we're at level 51 on this account. If I wanted to go to level 65, I could go I could spend $100 and go right to 65, and then I can get another offer, which is more than $100 to go to level 80. So what has been your experience, Kismet, and the arena and players that have purchased that?
Just kind of ignore them. There's nothing unless you're willing to spend the extra $100. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to get beat by their teams because they're going to be way more powerful than yours. It is what it is, I mean.
Right, and I'm going to remove Cat from the screen right here just so I can show. There's a refresh button, and I would suggest when you go into the arena. Now, before I talk about the refresh button, I just want to say what the arena is. The arena is going to be the primary source for arena credits and power cores, and it's basically there's going to be a payout on a daily basis. You can see here on Cat's account, which is Squid Princess. It's going to reset in the next 6 hours and 35 minutes. She's ranked 265, so she wants to get as high as possible in the next 6.5 hours. And to get as high as possible, one of the strategies is hitting the refresh button here to find an opponent that you can actually beat. Now, Kismet, what is one of the best ways to learn what good characters, which is going to be the next day, what are the good characters? What is one of the best ways to learn what the best characters are in the game?
Yeah, I mean, when you're new, you don't know that. But whenever you go into the arena and you battle another team, if you continuously get dominated by some other character that's on the other team, that's probably a good character to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is like what is a good character and what characters to focus on is kind of a moving target in Marvel Strike Force because they're always coming out with new characters. And I can tell you just by looking at this that, Kat, like you have a power of 48,000. I'm pretty sure you would get wrecked by Weaver. Would you say that's correct?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
I haven't encountered Weaver as much yet, or I haven't been paying attention to it. But I think that was, Trevor, you gave me advice really early on. Pay attention to who's beating you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times what I was getting beaten by was an X-Men team or the Sinister Six teams. So I started focusing on those, and those are the kind of teams I have, and they're really solid. And oftentimes I don't really have a problem unless it's a much more powered version of those teams.
Right. And the reason why this is important is that the arena system is basically based off of the nearest 10,000 players that started the same time as you. So you're playing against people that started the game at the same time as you, and you're battling to get as high as you can with about 10,000 other people. Kismet, what's been your experience with the arena? Where have you been able to place, even though you're hitting a wall with the people that are spending a lot of money?
I've been able to stay within the top 50, which has been super nice. You obviously get more cores and more arena credits. So I'm getting 200 cores a day just from that, and then 700 arena credits a day, which is nice. It took a little bit to get up to the top 100, top 50, but once I was there, I'm able to stay there. Okay.
Tell me about your arena team, and then we're going to go into more depth on what good characters or what the good characters are to focus on. Tell me about your arena team.
For the most part, my defense is Icarus, Gambit, Doc Ock, Vulture, and then currently I'm running Zemo as well.
Okay. And then, Babe, what's your offensive team?
My offensive team is Doc Ock, Vulture, Mysterio, and I know I've been getting some nonsense about this, but Swarm and Gambit.
There you go. Yeah, so those are the teams that are working for you guys right now. Now, I want to say that in Marvel Strike Force, things change and characters get reworked, and sometimes reworked characters become amazing, like Vulture and Doc Ock and Gambit. And it's kind of hard to know when characters have been reworked. But as a general tip, the newer characters are better than the older characters because there's a constant amount of power creep. In the description, I'm going to put a link to a spreadsheet, which is maintained by the player voice movement. And one of the tabs on the spreadsheet has character release information. And then adjacent to every character is the release date. And this may be somewhat helpful in knowing, oh, I just got this character. I just got Merc Riot Guard. Is it Merc Riot Guard a good character? Now, a veteran player will know to say right away, no, that's not a good character. But if the character is new, it's better. Would you say that's like a good general thing, K9?
Yeah, I mean, stay away from minions, and then, yeah, the newer characters typically the better, like you said, unless they got reworked.
Minions are trash. Okay, so something that changed on December 11th is they changed the unlock requirements for a lot of the legendaries. So this is going to be tip number 4, I suppose, or 5. I think tip number 5. I lost count. Tip number 5. But in the events tab, there are a bunch of legendaries, and now they're permanent legendary events. And I was blown away that Doc Ock unlocked for Cat as early as on day 5. And both of you are pretty hyped about Doc Ock. Who wants to go first and talk about this experience? Go ahead. What do you think, Cat?
Cat, go ahead.
Okay. I was excited for Doc Ock, one, because I'm a fan of the character, and a lot of the times I'm just like, oh, cool, I know this character. I like them. I'm going to play as them. But he's also really strong and works really well with Gambit. Even though they don't have a lot of synergy, they kind of work in tandem in ways. Like one of them, and Doc Ock also will summon other characters, which is nice early on, because a lot of the early characters that you get don't, other than Loki, don't really have summons. So it's kind of nice to have those other buffers of other characters when you're going up against tougher teams.
Yeah, and there's a lot of access to the other members to the team, like the Sinister Six, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and what was your experience, K9, about the legendary unlocks? Because you told me that it's probably best to ignore most of these. Which ones did you focus on?
Yeah, I mean, I've got all of them, I think, that I'm able to unlock at this, that are open to me. I've got them, but I don't really level them up. Basically, Doc Ock is the main one. I've got him at 4-star already, which is awesome for level 51. And then I do use Nick Fury a little bit, but I haven't really leveled him up. But he's nice for some of the campaign nodes to get through some of that stuff for the heroes and whatnot.
Yeah, in the current state of the game right now in January 2024, I think Doc Ock is the way to go. Not only with Sinister Six, Superior Six characters, amazing. I think this is a no-brainer approach. Now, we talked about the legendaries. We talked about the arena. We talked about spending power cores. Another one of the questions is, what do I spend my currency on, and what characters should I focus on upgrading? And I wanted to start with the Blitz store. Kat, who have you been focusing on in the Blitz store?
Gamora. More than anything. Because I got her pretty early on in the game, and she's really strong, even just as a solo character. And she works well with Nebula, who you can get pretty quickly too. Mm-hmm. Gamora is in there. I know Rescue, which I learned recently is a really good character to focus on. So I've been focusing on her. And then Electro too, because she works when you start building like a Sinister Six team, when you're able to get, Vulture and Doc Ock so early on, and then eventually you can get Mysterio pretty quickly. She's a good addition to that Sinister Six basic team. All
right, and what are you doing in the Blitz store, K9?
Pretty similar. I've started focusing on Electro. Rhino's in there too, but I don't use him as much, but it's still another Sinister Six character if you need one. I did unlock Gamora just to have her. I mean, Infinity Watch, if you can get that unlocked early, that'd be pretty good team. And then I've also unlocked Shang-Chi and Rescue.
Okay, and then I think this leads us to the next thing about the Blitz credits. There are two places in each of these stores. There's the supplies and the orbs. And I just wanted to say, it's probably, and tell me if you agree with this, K9. You want to spend the 500 to get 10 shards to get the characters you want unlocked, but then once you have the characters that you want unlocked, you can pivot to the orbs because you can spend quite a bit less. It's 350, right? And you get a random 10, and you also get some gold. Are you switching to that strategy, or are you still buying individual?
For the most part, I just open the orbs now. I think I got the characters to 3 stars, and once I got them to 3, they were mostly effective. So I just swapped to orbs because they're, like you said, you're cheaper, better price.
Yeah, you're gonna
Just
get more bang.
overall get gold.
Yeah, you're gonna get more bang for your buck if you open the Blitz orbs, which is also true on the raid orbs. So let's talk about the raid store. Before we talk about the raid orbs, let's talk about the supplies. Kat, who are you forming in the raid store?
Can you scroll down?
Yeah.
Forget who. Oh, Icarus.
Yes.
A lot more recently.
Yes, Icarus, and I think you told me, because we asked about I talked to you about this. You said Icarus and Mysterio are the 2 you were looking at, right?
Yeah, so Mysterio is not there as often, and I think because I have him unlocked, he was pretty simple to get. Once I saw I kind of had a surplus of the raid credits, I started getting more Mysterio, but you can also get Mysterio by autoing, I think, one of the hero campaign nodes.
Okay.
So you can get a lot of shards that way too.
Okay, and then what are you doing inside of the raid store, K9?
Basically the same thing. Just Icarus for the most part. I got Mysterio a few times just to get the unlock, and then I've also bought Zemo a couple times.
All right, so this is the thing about the raid store is that there are characters in here, and you can see that the ratio, like you can get 20 characters for 2,800. But the best bang for your buck is to go over to the orbs. Once, let's say you've got Icarus unlocked and open up the raid orbs. For 900, you're going to get a total of 18, which is going to be a better value. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Yeah. Have you switched over to this, or are you buying gear? I think Kat told me she was buying gear here, but you said you were not buying gear here.
I think I've bought gear only there once, and that was because I needed it to upgrade a specific character. But yeah, other than that, I just use the orbs.
Okay,
And
then
typically I only go in there to get gear when I run into the same problem. Like I've already auto won all of the nodes where I can get the gear, and I'm still, I didn't get enough in those nodes, or I'm still needing it for another character or another gear piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the raid credits or the raid store is another place where you can get a lot of those gear pieces that are pretty common, and you get a good chunk of them too.
Okay. Now we're going to go to the arena store. Now this is a little bit different because the value in the arena orbs is not as great as compared to the Blitz store and the raid store. What are you doing, Kat, inside of the arena?
Vulture,
right? Is Vulture like the no-brainer, right?
He's an easy no-brainer because not only does he work well with Doc Ock and Mysterio, he's so strong, and he's really fun.
It's really fun. What are you doing here, K9?
Same. I mean, Vulture used to be trash, and now he's pretty powerful. So especially early on.
Yeah. So
it's funny for me to hear as a new player because the only experience I've had with Vulture is that he's great. So it's funny to hear that he used to be garbage.
He's pretty amazing, yeah. As a veteran player, I've really enjoyed using Vulture as well. He's one of the better Sinister Six. So the value here is a little different. 500 credits for 10 character shards. But then when you go to the orbs, you're going to get 800, but you're going to be getting some other items. I'm going to open one here. So you're going to get 10, well, you got 14 character shards, but then we're getting T3 purple ability materials. Sometimes there's training materials and there's purple gears. Have you done much with this K9 as far as opening the orbs?
I've opened a few of them just to open them, but for the most part, I just try and focus on the individual characters.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about the next store, which is the Elite Store. And Kat just unlocked this and at level 50. And when you finish on a daily basis, when you go and you have to do your Alliance donations, and when you do your Alliance donation, which is 10,000 gold right here, which I've already done for you earlier today, babe. I've been playing your account. I know you love that. You're like, don't touch it, right? And then your daily activity will give you 1 silver promotion credit. K9, what's the simplest way to explain the difference between yellow stars and red stars and the way that silver promotion credits work?
Well, I mean, obviously, the higher red stars on your characters, the better. Early on, it's not a whole lot, but even a couple thousand increase from 0 red stars to 1 red star can make the difference in your arena or in a raid. And I haven't saved up enough to get 2 red stars or 3 red stars on anybody other than what I've opened from the orbs. But as far as the tokens go, I've upgraded Gambit, Vulture, Icarus. I just try to wait for them to pop up in the stores and upgrade the arena characters that I'm using.
Okay, so I'll show this right here. So here's a 3-star Loki that is just 3 yellows. Here is a 2 yellow Shuri, but Cat, somehow you must have pulled a 7 out of a basic red star orb. How did you do that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I randomly, I got some, once I finally unlocked red star orbs, I was like, oh, I want to open a couple because this is cool. And I think I only opened 2, and one of them was a 7 red star Shuri, who I didn't even have unlocked yet.
yeah, so when you open more reds than you have yellows, there's no benefit. But as you get the yellows on Shuri, they will automatically go to reds. So like you've got Swarm right here, which is a 2 yellow and 2 red. You've got Shuri, which is a 2 yellow, 7 red, which is basically the same thing as a 2 yellow, 2 red. And then my suggestion is, if as you get these silver promotion credits, I would spend them on your arena team. So like if you have 1 silver promotion credit, if Gambit came in here, I would be all on it. Like you know what I'm talking about, right? Gambit's just amazing, right? And so if you had Gambit
100%.
or whatever, so that's the way to do that. And then I don't know if this is a big deal. There's been some debate. This is a big deal, but there is red stars. Do you think, K9? We've had this debate on the stream before. Do you think it matters when you open the red stars? Because explain how the featured character and the 10x dark promo works.
So normally, obviously, if there's a featured character, I think it's a 15% chance that you're going to pull that specific character, depending on which red stars, which orb you pull. If it's no featured character, you have the 10x for the dark promotion credits, so you get 10 times the amount of dark promotion credits.
Right.
Which early on, it doesn't make sense for me to honestly to open them when it's a featured red character or a featured character, because I don't have either that character unlocked or the stars on it to matter. So I open it whenever it's 10x right now.
So what that means is that as new characters come to the game, let's say they have a new character coming to the game, like we're going to be expecting Gwenum and Void Knight in the next couple of weeks. When Void Knight comes to the game, he will appear in the red star orbs with a higher drop rate. So if you have Void Knight, you want to do that, right? But if you don't, you generally want to wait until when you see this 10x. And in general, the 10x is a better way to go because then you can get dark promo credits, which you'll need later. But the debate has been is that you're probably going to cap on them, so it may not matter that much because you're probably going to get to the 12,000 cap before we get there. Okay, so we've talked about all of the different stores, and we want to talk probably about the most important thing that Kat has not done in this game. You know what we're going to talk about, Kat?
Is it Alliance War?
Yeah, it's Alliance War. So, K9, explain how much gold you got last week because you changed from the starter alliance to an established alliance that is actively participating in Alliance War. Just walk us through that process.
So I've got Discord, obviously, and from previously playing, I had a couple other Discord channels that still were Marvel Strike Force related. Went on them, posted my profile, whatever, said I'm looking for a starter alliance. Finally found one, joined, and they're up pretty high, to be honest, as far as what we have. So last week for the raid season rewards, I got 10 million gold.
Right. So just by being an alliance that is playing an Alliance War, you got paid out, and that pays out every 2 weeks. You got 10 million gold. It's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for a starter alliance, plus all of the raid credits and war credit, or the war credits and elite war credits and ISOs that I can't use right now, other gold. I mean, just being in a more advanced alliance, the rewards and stuff that I get are huge. I can't even use half of them right now.
Yeah, so I can't stress how important this is of going into an alliance, getting into a better alliance. When you start playing Marvel Strike Force, they just kind of dump you in. What do we call those? Like starter alliance? It's just a starter alliance, right? I mean, Kat, you're in a Star Alliance. How many people are perceived to be active in there?
As far as I can tell, maybe 7.
Yeah, and I want to say that this is super important. If you're going to be a daily player and get the most out of Strike Force, you want to be in an alliance with like-minded players, and optimally, you want to be in an alliance with 24 people playing the game the exact same way you are. Right now, you're playing an alliance where 6 people are playing, and the other, whatever that is, I can't do math, other 18 people aren't. That's not good, right? And you're not getting access to Alliance War. Now, I've listed on the screen here the main official Discord for Marvel Strike Force. This is a very large Discord. K9, you did something different. How did you find the alliance that you're in?
I posted on Boilon and Dorky Dad's Discords, in their alliance finders and stuff like that. And then you'd get messages back on Discord, and then you kind of just try to find the best fit for you.
Right. So you do have to have Discord. So what I'm going to put in the description is, in addition to the main official Discord, I'm going to post Dorky Dad's Discord and Boylan's Discord. I don't have recruitment on my Discord, or I discourage it because it was a problem. My mods were having a problem with it. So other content creators actually have pretty good Discords that open to that. And that also gives you access to the Arena Store. And you told me, or not the Arena Store, the War Store, and that's where you started getting Carnage. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been buying Carnage out of there. I mean, because I get Plat 2 rewards from this alliance, even though they pretty much carry me in all of it. But for the store, yeah, you've got access to several other good characters. But Carnage right now is just the one I'm farming.
And the reason why I think it's good to be in an alliance that's active is that you're going to be able to interact with people that are playing the game the same way you are and be able to ask questions. Now, of course, you could also ask questions on Discord. You could also ask questions on Reddit, but if you're going to go on Reddit, I highly recommend reading the rules for posting. People on Reddit will be helpful. Like, this person right here is asking, what team should I make from this roster? And there's going to be some answers. And I found that people are pretty helpful on Reddit. But I highly suggest reading the rules to this subreddit before you do that. Where has been a good resource? Not you, Kat, because you just ask me or you ask chat when you stream. But K9, where do you get most of your information from?
Honestly, I get it from all of my Discord channels. I'm in a cluster, so I've got all kinds of access to all kinds of info and other people. And I mean, it's probably 25 alliances, so you can get that many people and get that many answers or more experience or new players. It's just a good resource.
And this might be a little bit too much for this video, but there are individual alliances and then there's alliances that are in clusters. And the quick explanation for what that is that a cluster of alliances will be a group of hundreds of people, and there'll be multiple alliances within that cluster. And then as you become more sweaty and get a larger TCP-ness, you can bump up to higher alliances, right? I don't know. That's what the song was playing right now. But you like being in a cluster? K9?
I don't necessarily like it, but I feel like it's the easiest one, and they typically have the most room. They're more active in recruiting, so it's just kind of easier.
Okay. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up on as far as your experience with the new player account? Kat, what do you think? How are you liking Marvel Strike Force so far?
Hey, I find it pretty entertaining. I find it fun. I've played a lot of hero collector kind of games before, or at least not exactly a hero collector, but something along those lines. And it's important to keep in mind, if you're going to play a game like this, it's a hobby. It's going to use a lot of time. It's going to require some time, and it's going to require some other skills. So just be prepared for new responsibilities that come with it. I know not everybody likes that in a game, but I don't mind it. I think it's really fun.
What do you think, K9? What's your takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm enjoying unlocking all the new characters again and seeing which characters got reworked from the last time I played. It'll be interesting to see how much time is required once I unlock Cosmic Crucible and all the other events and stuff that I can get to, and how much time I can actually dedicate into playing this game.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with both of you, of course, Kat. But as far as making more videos, yeah, of course, right? She's in the other room.
We do live together.
Yeah, it's my wife. And also, you're the one that's going to edit this video, so I'm sure you're going to talk shit in the subtitles and all that stuff. But anyways, if you got something out of this video, stay tuned. We're going to continue doing player guides. And as both of these guys and gals have their accounts grow, we're going to share that experience and offer more tips. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section and enjoy this banger hit of Marvel Strike Force. Bye for now.
Soaring high in cosmic greatness, from rich to arenas conquering with glee, in the gaming world where legends